Good morning, everyone on YouTube, ladies and gents. Nice bit of an update for you. Again, I know it's been a few weeks, but I've been so busy with just life. Again, moving on from making hydraulic hoses with Pertec. Want all cut out what they said it was going to be. For the money, it was laughable. Expecting you to get under a 25-ton digger to drop the belly pan out, and pan looked pretty much about £9 an hour. I've gone back on the sheet metal again. I'm working for a company that specialise in rollers that you find in like paper mills, cloth factories and stuff like that. So I've just gone in there, cutting steel. And I think it's something daft, like I take home about 100 quid less than I did with all the palaver messing about with bloody hydraulics. So anyway, less of that, moving on to this. As a lot of you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I've cracked on with the 205 a bit. And as you'll see in there, obviously, we started putting some more bits in the engine bay. Obviously, the looms in, master cylinders in, just routing all the cable, and just obviously the manifolds on, and obviously engine mount. So I've just been sort of doing bits and bobs here and there. Obviously, we started to put in, obviously, the wishbones. Obviously, drive shafts are in. As you were seeing on some of my previous posts, obviously, the hubs are all put together. But I've had a bit of a misfortune with eBay buying some brake calipers. Obviously, twice now, they've sent me the wrong ones. So what I've ended up doing is what I've done on some of my old Peugeots in the past. I've ended up taking a set of my spares to pieces, as you were seeing on my Instagram yesterday, and stripped them down, and then obviously I've ordered up a seal kit, so I'll rebuild them. Yeah, it's been a nightmare, so I can't understand how motor factors can put photos up of the brake calipers that you need, and then they send completely different ones. And this is twice now, and I believe this is Ace Motorsport Spares, Motor Parts or something. They're based up in Stoke-on-Trent. Nightmare. I just can't understand how you can put up a photo of a brake caliper, list it as a 1600 GTI, which is identical to the ones that come off the car, and then send me out completely different. It's a nightmare, and it's just getting worse and worse. Obviously, for getting spares for a Type 5 GTR, and I wish that sort of, I think down in Portsmouth, I think we're left with one semi-normal motor factors, and that's Havant Motor Factors. The rest of them, Andrew Page has been bought out by Euro, and as many people will know, trying to get a car part from Euro, again, you're dealing with idiots, and I just can't understand how our motor industry and spares has just gone to pot. You know, in the old days when you used to go over there and they get the part book out and they run through it and they're guaranteed to match it, it's just crazy. But anyway, I'll give up on my ranting and raving, because again, it's not going to get me anywhere. Obviously, these have turned up now. Obviously, I've got a set of Group N front and rear shocks. I know people are going to go, oh, they're not the Group A ones you're going to get. You're going to have problems. Obviously, the rear end's going to be not twitchy. I think it's sort of I think the ratio, whatever you want to talk about, is a bit thing on there. But again, it's a learning curve, you know. It's just sort of, I'm building the car how I want to build it, and I'll build it with improvements. You know, so I appreciate all some of the good comments that I've had and some of the bad comments. But at the end of the day, it's built by me, it'll be driven by me, and if I pick up that the suspension's not up to thing, I'll change it. Don't bother me. Obviously, it gives me something else to film and talk about, me working on the 205. So I might start today putting those together. But yeah, it's quite nice is that, again, all the boxes are all getting empty now, where parts are going on the car. And also I was quite chuffed to be able to sort of chuck the wishbones on, and like I said, once them shocks are put together and hubs are on, we're quite on on a big step to getting it back on 4 wheels, and then I can start working my way for a lot more. So yeah, it's all come together. But as some of you will see on my Instagram and on my Facebook, obviously I'm in the middle of working on my truck at the moment to put a new body on it. So obviously I've got I've forgotten the term to that, the bearers across from a company up in Newbury way called Sheet Metals. But it's crazy at the moment trying to get materials. The price of steel is, wow. If we had a delivery the other day for I think it was 7 metres long by a 50-50 box section, running a mill cheap steel, it came in at over £100. It's just crazy at the moment, and obviously we're struggling to get materials with the strength, like again E9, E16T, E32T, which is obviously for the strength, and some of them can be hard and some of them can be plated, so on. But yeah, it's just, like I say, it's just, I don't know what's going on. It's just everything has gone to pot. And then obviously I'm seeing a few people asking the question about the petrol that's coming through. So is it going to be the end of classic cars for us in the UK? I don't know. Is it time for me to move some of my tow 5s along? No, I can't do that. I'd rather leave them where they are. So what I'll do at the moment is, again, I'll show you what I've been up to in my other garage. Excuse the mess out in the yard. Nice little find out of the metal bin the other day. Anyone after a BSA push bike? Look at the brakes on the bad boy. Something different. Anyway, step into my office. As some of you who've met me through the owners club and stuff, and dealt with me on parts, as you'll see, I carry a heck of a lot of spare parts for the tow 5s. So what I've been doing is, this was a bit of a mess in here. I've always wanted to put the stuff together. So I've got a box for the hubs, a box for the brakes, to ease off the shelving in the other garage. So a couple of weeks, obviously, I've been sort of sorting out all my crap and get semi-organised. Now I know this is sort of dragging people away from the tow 5 build, but I've always got 101 things going on. So after having it all as a mess in here, again, it's just been nice to go through everything, to get everything in order. And also, there's people that have met me in the past and stuff like that, it frustrates the hell out of me when stuff's not in order. And obviously, I've always got something on the mind on what I want to do. And after having to take my big toolbox out the Pertec, man, I've ended up with some more storage. As you can see, obviously, this is definitely off subject of tow 5 build, but like I say, it's just madness. It's just people, you know, some ways should either add them a little potting shed at the bottom of the garden, because it's just crazy. And as you can see, it's just mad. And also, I had a nice little find the other day with my Ferrari sign. Obviously, that's the pride and joy. Again, it's just, we're tow 5 mad in this house. But it's just been nice to go through all my spares. As you can see, again, GTR6 engine, 1600 engine, another 1600 engine, and then under there's a couple of 19 engines and spares. Also, look, my automatic bonnets, everyone goes crazy for them, but it's been nice to go through all my spares and start getting organised, and sort of logging what I've actually got, because it's just, you know, I've been breaking these things for nearly 20 years now. It's just crazy. So again, what's on the agenda now is to pull out them shelving and get some new shelving in it, and sort of finish this workshop to what it should be. As you see, obviously we've got display cabinets for the model car collection that are going to be in. Again, my nice rollover spit that I've done the tow 5 on. But it's going to be nice to sort of refit this out to do something, and obviously redo the floor. And as you can see in here, obviously motor tile up in Sedgensworth done me a lovely deal on my tiles, and obviously people will see when you go on their website, you see a photo of the other 205, or shall I say my workshop, and how I've done on there. And then I've just been approached by Machine Mart about doing a video like they've done with that gentleman who I believe builds or restores classic motorcycles, because again, it's a passion, you know, it's my life, these bloody tin cans on wheels. I love them. I just can't get enough of them. But again, going back on the spare parts, it's just been nice to sort of go through it all. And obviously with these boxes off of eBay, from a company, I think up in Romsey, I believe, Solent Plastics. Again, I found them on eBay, and I think I'm on my third load of 10 boxes at a time. Something like that. But yeah, it's been nice, because again, the old boxes that I used to have, which came from the old wing mirror place local to me, it was one of them, obviously they're big boxes, and you could fill them up and then you can never move them. So moving on to the little small boxes now, I can start sort of moving all my spares about. But as you can see in here, obviously with my detailing stuff and my oils and stuff, it was all sort of, some people that have been up to me and come up and see me or seen some of the photos, it was all just slung all on the roof of the Silver 205 and wherever else. So it's been nice to start getting organised in here and sort of putting stuff in its things, you know. Again, look, electrical boxes, decorating boxes, some paint. Obviously that paint there, obviously I'll repaint out in the other garage, and that's that all done out of my life, you know. And it's just going through all the crap that we've been collecting. Again, like going through all the boxes, because some people would have seen, again, from my Facebook and my Instagram, is that I've been up in my loft on and off over the last few weeks, sorting stuff out there. And people that will see the photographs, I think it was 1 year ago that I removed all my seat collection from the loft and just started auctioning them off on eBay. And any money that I've earned through selling spare parts, I've chucked it straight at the white 205, just to free up some pennies. Because again, a man can only hold on to so much stuff, and I am at the stage now where I might get rid of one of my spare 1.9 engines and one of my spare 1600 engines, just to free up some more room. Obviously we do it on collecting parts, because there's some of you have seen out there, I've got another body shell, so I'm more likely to build another GTR 6 out of that one. And again, I've got enough parts up in the loft at the workshop to build a brand new Type 5. Again, some of you see on there, look, motorbike boots, my boys, grown out of them, bought my new pair, grown out of them. The joys of having an 11-year-old kid that don't stop eating and don't stop growing. So it cost me a fortune in motocross boots, but it's all fun and games. But yeah, like I said, it's all coming on again, as you can see out there with the CTR that's going to be going our patio as the area, which I think is quite funny. Sorry, excuse the mess outside, but it's nice just to start sorting out all the crap. Yeah, and that's what it is. Anyway, we'll go quiet and we'll move on to back to the workshop. Right, let's get back in here. So, better turn on the computer and I'll get some tunes going on, annoy the neighbours some more. There's what one of them moaned at me, loud dance music. It's Sunday, let's all have a rave. But yeah, it's been nice to start tidying up a bit, as you can see. again, because I think Screwfix have got a deal on the Stanley box at the moment. So sorting them out, it's been handy to start sort of like tidying up my drawers. And that was the idea of building the workshop. So when I come down there, I can find everything that's used, obviously fuses, grommets, heat shrink and stuff like that. It's been nice to build the workshop, you know. I see some of them American boys, and that's, you know, and it got me thinking. It's like, well, hold on a minute, Dave, you got a 30 square metre workshop. Why don't you do something with it? And like I said, obviously before, it's just boom, boom, everything. It's got its place, and that was it. And that was the idea of building. I'm trying to work out where my old car makes. Building the workshop, so we could. Oh, what done for them? Get organised, and you know, so we know where everything is. Hang on that. There we go. Find out. I don't know what I've done with. When you try and find something, obviously now I've got more room. I've ended up with more junk. Then you find that you think to yourself, where's all that gone? You say, I collect a lot of peugeot books and guides and anything I can find for the information. Goes a long way. It's a bit strange, isn't it? What comes all them? Again, organising. Finally bought an editing program. I'm still filming off of the old phone because I'm still trying to work out how to see. Ah, there we go. This is what we're after. As some of you would have seen before, obviously I'm quite well known with my Silver Tie 5, and this was. Let's see if I can get there. I do a lot of, any time I get the opportunity to do some magazine work, I don't know where I bought that one. I'm sure. Ah, there we go. Some of you would find. Let's see if I can find where it is. I had the opportunity a couple of years ago to do a photo shoot. Oh, there we go. With a Ferrari. This was organised, and this is where I ended up meeting Matt Day, who's got a Type 5 dimmer and a few other bits. As you can see, that's my car and that's me. And there you go, there's Matt. Obviously, Matt brought down a little 1600 that I can't remember if he had the MR16 engine conversion or not. No, I think it was an original 1600, and then he had an MR16 engine in it. And yeah, went from there. And also, I met some really good guys in that one. So that was that magazine. So that's retro cars, and then we've got modern classics. And obviously, as you can see, obviously I'm on the front page, and that was done at the old McLaren test track. And obviously they had one of the Golfs from the Volkswagen museum. So yeah, like I said, that's the pride and joy. Obviously that we've done all the photo shoot with on the test track. It's sort of on your way to London. There's a film studio up there, and it's where McLaren test their cars. And again, met a gentleman in that car, the likes of Lan. He worked out in Tokyo. When they handed, obviously, Tokyo back, was it Tokyo or Hong Kong? One of the two. Shows how much attention I pay. When it used to be a British colony, so he brought it back. So yeah, it was a good day. And again, I met Martin, who is an editor for the Mini magazine, and that's the It's Cooper S Works GP. Lovely car. Obviously, I'm stuck in the past. That's my thing, you know. Obviously, I was more interested in the Mark 1 Golf than I was anything else. But yeah, that's one magazine. And then move on to another one. This classic sports car. This is a few years ago now. And this is my first magazine photo shoot that I've done. And again, it was with another Mark 1 Golf GTI. And that was up at sort of like Salisbury way. And you see, obviously, I met Graham through there, and we're still in contact to this day. Obviously, out on the nice open roads. As you see, look how young I look now. Not no more, look. I've got grey hairs coming through. Probably match the colour. Yeah, that was before the engine was detailed. So yeah, it's just, like I said, this magazine. Of any time I have a magazine shoot, I always buy a load of copies, and they're up in the loft with any paperwork to do with the car. So yeah, and then I think if you look at the old 205 buyer's guide that's out with, I think there's a red 205 on the thing. Again, I'm listed. Obviously, I supply a load of photographs, and the photographs of the workshop before, they were on the day that we moved into the house. And obviously, I put the 205 in there after I painted the floor, and it's just gone from mad. So yeah, it's been handy to, like I said, just to go through all the shit, excuse me language, because there's just so much, obviously, stuff. But this had all my conducting and different wire and stuff, and yeah, it's just been nice to sort of get organised. So then, you know, I spend more time on the job than I do having to obviously sort out all my gear. But yeah, it's all positive at the moment. I think with all what we've got going on, yeah, it's just mad. Yeah, some of our sort of thing that they would have seen on this is a good little find that I had the other day. I've got a few of the smaller ones, but I've always wanted that bad boy. I expect some of the people that are watching this saw this on eBay, and I had to have it. And and how much I think it cost me like 20 quid in fucking postage to get it down in Portsmouth. But I've always wanted one, so I've got the smaller ones, but I've always wanted the big one. Now, if I was a Ford man, you can get them 10 to a dozen. But what I've picked up from when I've been in different dealerships before, they might have been put on my leg, is that anything that's to do with the Peugeot, like signs and stuff, some of it has to go back to France. Obviously, if they're a main dealer, I don't know how true this is, because I want the big line, big chrome line. There's one listed on eBay. It's been on there for ages, and I'm like, do I buy it? Do I not? And I kicked myself because there was one listed when I went up to Birmingham on a training course with Pertec, and I was a bit, do I, don't I? Because I've had the work van and stuff like that, and I was like, and it was sort of like half price of the one that's listed on eBay. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. One day I will get one. Like I said, any with the memorabilia and stuff. It's just nice to hang it and get it out, as people would see. But with refitting out that other workshop, that gives me chance to get out all the model cars and stuff up in the loft. Again, sort of buying some more equipment, obviously. Another compressor. I've got the big one out in the yard, but we used to run my mate's body shop on that. And it's had a hard life now, and I think it's on its last leg, so I think we might look at getting a bit bigger one. And obviously, but this one, I've just been using with the little air sander, just getting rid of the scabbiness on the chassis of the truck. And I'll tell you what, I haven't failed once. I'm quite impressed with it, to be honest, for the money I gave for it. I think it was 250 quid, something daft like that from Machine Mart. But hopefully if they do follow up on what they said about doing a video of, obviously, of my workshop so they can see. But yeah, it was quite funny, obviously, the guy asked me. But my dad started me off buying me tools, going back probably 94, 95, and that's what he used to do. He thought to himself, well, instead of giving me money, he used to buy me tools. So obviously it's been a long process. Yeah, and like I said, that's sort of how it all started for me. It was obviously with my dad, buying stuff from Machine Mart. So and that's sort of like, I think, part of the story which they were interested in, and they just sort of want to come and have a chat with me so they can see what my passion is. And again, like I said earlier, it's a bit strange, but it's Peugeot 205s. And obviously I enjoy the cars, I enjoy building them, and it keeps me chilled, you know, and yeah, and that's what it is. But yeah, like I said, we've got the editing program now. And obviously we'll look at getting the GoPro, because people have said before, well, you're not really videoing you doing anything. So, but I think with people that follow me on my Instagram and on my Facebook, I think we'll see that I don't have people coming to my workshop, turn the spanners for me. I do it myself. Yeah, sorry that I don't sit there and video it, like every turn of a screw or tightening out of a nut and bolt. But like I said, it's just to give people a walk through on what I'm up to, you know. And it's just, like I said, it's just moving everything forward. And I think if I knew what I know now about the whole COVID thing and stuff, and again, you're saying that I'm preaching over it. After getting made redundant back in October last year, to be honest, I wish I just turned around and took this year, it took obviously 2021 out, and literally just sort of done more in my workshop and at home. Yeah, just had the, you know, so I'm lucky I'm in a situation that I can pick and choose, obviously, if I want to go to work or not. And obviously people that I've spoken to in the past obviously know the reasons for that. But yeah, I wish that I did now. And just sort of just get the channel from trickling through to proper mainstream. Because as people tell me in the past, I'm a clever young man. Don't know why, but I think a lot of that obviously comes from me granddad and my old man, but more my granddad, because, you know, and I had a nice comment or message on Instagram come through. I think it was yesterday from Dundee, about asking me about obviously metal polishing. You know, obviously I'm always there to help people in any way I can, to pass on a bit of my knowledge, and coming out of the drainage industry and retraining up as a metal polisher over at Spark Tech with Chris, Phil, John, and Mark. Yeah, it taught me a whole new process in working metal and about finishes, and, you know, and obviously I went to college and done my welding, but you learn so much from a tradesman that's been doing it for years and years and years. And, you know, those guys over at Spark Tech, I'll always be in debt to them for what they've done for me over the 4 years that I worked for them. And if I had the opportunity to go back, because obviously we specialised in the pharmaceutical industry, in making tanks and stuff like that, as people would have seen in my photographs. And obviously people look up Spark Tech Fabrication and Gospel, and you see the photos of what we've done. And obviously because of this COVID and stuff, and obviously we got furloughed here and there and stuff like that, you know, we was only a small business, you know, and if me taking redundancy, if that's giving Chris a chance to soldier on with the business, and then ring that in 6 months' time, a year's time, say, right, you know, we're ready to roll again, I'll give it serious consideration to go back, because every day was a learning curve, and it was a sort of a follow-on from what I learnt from my granddad, up in his workshop, obviously messing about with cars, lawnmowers, motorcycles, push bikes, anything. And, I spent every day of 20 years with that man. Obviously as the only grandson, and I loved it. And it was just mad, on what we'd done. And then obviously with my old man being an engineer, and then obviously as a metalsmith, with the TA, with the Territorial Army, with the Royal Electrical Mechanical Engineers, as a metalsmith, it's just it just ups my game on everything with all that knowledge, and it's just I always fight for it. I'm always trying to take it in to learn how stuff works and to improve my skill level. And I'm not said, and as people have commented before, that's how I build cars like this. And I did have this conversation with my wife, Kelly, yesterday, that in some ways I need to let go of the whole Peugeot 205 scene and do other things, build other cars, because I've got the space, I've got the equipment to do it. It's just, but I can't let go. And it's sort of like, that's some of my mates and thing will laugh, is that I'm always stuck on my ways, and I can be quite stubborn over that. But it's nice to work on a car where every nut and bolt, what goes where. It's just where their weak spots are, where their strong points are, and it's nice for me is that I haven't got to sit there putting up daft comments on Facebook groups like we get most of it. Where can I buy this? Where can I buy that? Is you get so many people on there asking, I want to replace my water hoses. Well, why don't you do a search on it? And the thing is obviously with the car forums are dead. And obviously I'm an active member on Club UK Peugeot Sport, but the forum's dead. It's just such a shame. And obviously I'm also a member of 205 GTR Drivers. That website, that's helped me so much through people like myself that are mad enough to mess about with 205s. It's just crazy. And there's nothing going on. But then you get, obviously, I know everyone's going on all this Facebook groups and stuff like that. But if you'd just done a Google search, or, you'd come across drivers. And the thing is you don't need to ask questions on Facebook. Go and drive them. As people like myself have done guides on how to rebuild a rear beam, what brakes you can fit on them, what to do this, how to do that. And there's so much on there, and it's just like asking about, I've seen it a few times now. Where can I get replacement water hoses from? Do a search. At the end of the day, if you haven't heard of Baker, which started off making mounts, they do pretty much everything now for a 205. You only got to get in contact with them, with Stuart or Louise, who's in the office. Obviously, someone thing the other day, I had that sent through to me, that sticker, because when I ordered up a load of bits for the White 205, I pestered them. Have you got any old stickers? Why was that then? Because as you can see on there, that sticker's a fair few years old, and that was when I bought the bits for the Silver 205. And then obviously that's their updated one, and that's what they need to do. It's getting out there, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Obviously with all my forum names, whenever I pop up on them, it is everything across is Dale 205 Mills. That's it. That's the name that I'm proud of, and it makes life so much easier. I've got a few nicknames from family members and obviously from some of my friends, but I can't go on forums being called that. So again, that's what I'm known as. And it's getting my name out there and showing what I'm doing at the bottom of my garden in Portsmouth. Working on silly French cars. But it's life, it's a passion. That's what it is. Anyway, I think we've had, looking at the time, I've been rabbiting on for over half an hour. Hopefully this gives people something to laugh at on Sunday. But yeah, it's mad. It's just like I said, Toe 5s are what makes me tick. And that's why I've been sort of messing about with them since I was 15 years old. And here I am, 36, with a decent workshop, still messing about with the things. And, and that's why it's like, do I move on to do different cars? I don't know. It's just nice for me is that I need any parts, I can either go out in the loft or I'll go in the other garage or go in the storeroom and find bits. But yeah, anyway, hopefully this is sort of giving a bit of an insight of what I've been up to for the last couple of weeks. And as you can see, I'm always a busy man with something. Yeah, I know I should be concentrating on putting the Toe 5 together, but it's nice to do other stuff because then it keeps for me, it keeps my passion going. Because I'm like, yeah, well, as you can see on the board, obviously my list, the gaps are getting smaller. And that can only mean that we're close to having it back on 4 wheels, finishing off obviously the bits inside, and then maybe go full to build the ultimate Toe 5 out of the non-sunroof shell out in the garden. Yeah, and like I said, I do miss my Topaz, which I put the GTR 6 engine with, because that thing would fucking scream on a Sunday morning. Me and the boy going giving that some stick along the top of the hill of Portsmouth. Brilliant. But anyway, thank you very much. I hope everyone enjoys the update. Have a cracking day, and I'll speak to you guys in due course. Thank you very much.